In March of 1922, an unknown entity bypassed the perimeter of an isolated Bavarian farm, slipped into the attic, and lived directly above the family for 6 days, unnoticed. On the 6th night, 6 people were lured into a dark barn one by one and executed with a precision industrial tool. But the forensic anomaly isn't how they died, it's what happened next. For 4 straight days, the killer stayed on the farm, living alongside the bodies. To understand the horror of Hinterkaifeck, we have to look at the 6 days leading up to the silence. The farmstead was located in an isolated patch of Bavarian forest, miles from civilization. It was inhabited by Andreas Gruber, his wife Cecilia, their widowed daughter Victoria, and her 2 young children. 6 days before the end, Andreas found something that disturbed his strict sense of order. In the pristine winter snow, a single set of footprints emerged from the dense forest line. They tracked directly across the yard, straight to the lockbox of the machine shed. Andreas followed them, expecting to find a thief, but the tracks stopped dead at the door. There were no footprints leading back to the woods, no signs of departure. The snow around the farm remained completely untouched. That night, the anomalies escalated. Strange, rhythmic thuds echoed from the wooden floorboards directly above their bedrooms, the locked, unlit attic. Andreas searched the space with a lantern, rifle in hand. The dust on the floor was undisturbed, the locks secure. Yet the next morning, an unfamiliar newspaper sat on the kitchen table. A newspaper no one in the household had purchased. Someone was inside the walls, and they were waiting. On the night of March 31st, 1922, the trap was sprung. Forensic investigators would later piece together a chilling timeline. The killer did not storm the house. They weaponized the darkness of the barn. One by one, a psychological lure was used to draw the family members out of the warmth of the living quarters. It began with the elderly mother, Cecilia. It is believed she heard a strange noise from the livestock pens. She walked across the frozen courtyard, entered the pitch-black barn, and was instantly struck from above with a heavy industrial pickaxe, a mattock. Andreas was next, followed by the daughter, Victoria, and finally the 7-year-old granddaughter, Cecilia. Each walked into the exact same blind spot. Each was struck down with precision before they could scream. The bodies were systematically stacked on top of one another, concealed beneath loose straw. The killer then entered the house. They navigated the dark corridors to the maid's quarters, taking the life of the newly hired maid, Maria, who had arrived just hours prior. Finally, they entered the bedroom of the youngest child, 2-year-old Joseph, sleeping in his crib. By midnight, 6 souls were gone. The estate was completely silent. But the smoke from the chimney didn't stop. For the next 96 hours, the village of Wangen noticed nothing unusual at Hinterkaifeck. In fact, to the outside world, the farm seemed fully operational. Neighbours reported seeing smoke steadily billowing from the kitchen chimney throughout the weekend. The cattle were not crying out in hunger. Investigators later confirmed that all the livestock had been meticulously fed, watered and milked on a perfect schedule. The killer hadn't fled into the night. They had moved in. Forensic evidence proved that someone had slept comfortably in the beds. They had used the kitchen stove to prepare large, hearty meals using the family's cured meats and bread. They even sat on the porch in plain view of the distant road, consuming the estate's supplies while 6 bodies lay freezing just yards away in the barn. When the mail carrier arrived on Saturday, he left the post on the porch. He noted that the family dog, a fierce Spitfire terrier, was tied tightly to the post, barking frantically at the house. Someone inside was watching him through the curtains, but the door never opened. The killer chose to live in the graveyard they created. More than 100 years later, standard history books still label Hinterkaifeck a simple, unsolved crime. But the physical data in the log forces a much more disturbing question. What kind of entity actually occupied that farm? If it was a human killer, why leave thousands of dollars in gold coins untouched on the kitchen table, while choosing to meticulously tend to the cattle and cook meals alongside 6 decaying bodies? Could we be looking at something entirely outside our understanding of biology? A localized temporal loop where the entities never actually left? An early documented instance of a non-human intelligence mimicking human patterns? Or did the family simply step into a geographical dead zone where the laws of nature and human behavior warped completely? The footprints in the snow never led away from the house, because whatever took Hinterkaifeck might still be waiting for the code to break. Thank you for watching. The files on Hinterkaifeck remain open, but the truth is lost to time. What do you think happened on that farm? Let me know your theories in the comments below.